While tourist places opened in some countries as early as June, devising advanced health measures or alluring ways to motivate visitors, other countries, such as the Bahamas, have only reopened to close or restrict tourists after a surge in coronavirus cases. Touristic places. Other countries have decided not to risk a second wave by alienating tourists altogether. Some countries have suggested that they will not reopen their doors this year, while others have explicitly stated this, but in both cases, with the continued change in travel under the current epidemiological conditions, things may change overnight. In this video, we review 5 tourist places that will be closed to tourists during the next year. Number 1. Australia. Bloomberg reported that Scott Morrison, Australia's Prime Minister, suggested in late June that the country's borders may remain closed to international visitors until mid-2021. Recently, Qantas, Australia's largest airline, said it did not expect to fly international routes before July 2021, according to CNN. According to the Australian Department of Home Affairs, currently, anyone entering Australia must quarantine for a period of 14 days. With a few exceptions, Australian citizens and permanent residents have also been banned from travelling abroad. Number 2. New Zealand. The BBC reported that Jacinda Ardern, the country's Prime Minister, said after a cabinet meeting in May that New Zealand will not have open borders to the rest of the world for a long time to come. According to the Immigration Department, current arrivals must undergo mandatory coronavirus testing and quarantine for 14 days. Even allowing travelers from neighbouring Australia to enter New Zealand is some time out, according to New Zealand news site Stuff. Number 3. South Africa. South Africa experienced the worst coronavirus outbreak on the continent and saw a peak in new cases in July. I don't expect any international tourism to happen during this calendar year, Cisa Nchona, Chief Executive of Tourism South Africa, told the BBC in July. However, the tourism recovery plan published in August takes a more positive outlook, saying the borders can be reopened to Asian/Australian countries in November 2020, with other primary markets such as the United States and the United Kingdom taking in April 2021. However, the second scenario in the same plan suggests that these dates could be postponed between May and July 2021 for Australian visitors, and November 2021 for other international travelers. Number 4. Bali, Indonesia. The goal was originally to reopen Bali to tourists on September 11, 2020, but it was recently announced that the island will remain closed to international visitors during 2020, blamed for the recent rise in local coronavirus cases. Number 5. Thailand. Likewise, Thailand has postponed its planned reopening. The Deputy Governor of Thailand Tourism Authority, Chaitan Kangaratnayadya, said in a webinar in August that there was no timeline discussed for the reopening to foreign travelers, and that he saw no indication from the government that the country will reopen this year. The Telegraph reported that he also said February 2021 might not look good to foreign visitors. According to a program established by the government regarding tourism in Phuket, foreign tourists will be allowed to visit Phuket, provided that they undergo a COVID-19 test upon arrival, quarantine at the designated resort for 14 days, stay in designated areas, and then take another corona test after the quarantine period ends. Passengers wishing to travel outside Phuket will also be required to quarantine for an additional week and undergo a third COVID-19 test. Subscribe to the channel, for more information. Thanks for watching.